So during this hiatus, I think will be the most opportune time to discuss all the different theories and speculations I have for the upcoming arc, which would be the Diamonds coming to Earth, going off their exchange in the episode That Will Be All, which concluded the zoo arc.
The window for preserving Earth specimens is closing.
Sapphire, has the cluster emerged yet?
No, it has not.
Then there's still time.
Assuming the show actually follows through on this, which I don't see why they wouldn't, we could have a lot of big revelations and a lot of big plot advancements happen in the span of episodes. And a plot point I actually want to see in this arc would serve as character development for one of the most underutilized gems in recent episodes, and that's Garnet, everyone's favorite fusion.
Oh, stop.
So let's talk about that today on Crystal Clear. Before we get into that, some great news. The Roundtable is going to have a panel at MomoCon. Roundtable presents Steven Universe, and it will be hosted by me, Tom, Mackenzie Atwood, Slice of Otaku, and Rose's Universe. While we're still trying to plan everything, I think it's going to be a really fun panel. You guys definitely won't be underwhelmed, and the intention is for it to be recorded, and then I'll do some fancy editing to incorporate whatever visuals I have, along with set recording to make a really good visual experience for those who couldn't be there in person. But trust me, it's going to be amazing. Also, we're doing some fundraising for the channel's budget, because we found an office space that we're trying to get, and no doubt MomoCon is going to drain a lot from us financially. So if you guys want to grab some Roundtable Black and Blue or Crystal Clear tees and hoodies, there's Women's Fit too. Those are available to April 4th, 2017. The shirts are $15, the hoodies are $30. Another way to support us is Patreon. We're having early exclusive content on there, video rough drafts, some blog posts, etc. I'm getting more and more in the habit of posting on there frequently, so you're not just giving us your money without any perks. And even if it's just $1 or $2, every dollar counts. And hey, we spend $4 or $5 a day on lunch. Why not spend $4 or $5 a month to support your content creators? And if you can't afford pledging monthly to Patreon, here's my PayPal that I'm also putting in the description in case you guys want to send me money that way. Alright, I self-promoted enough, now let's get on with the episode. The episode Steven stream, which kicked off the zoo arc, featured Garnet warning Steven to stay away from Pink Diamond's Palanquin. The reason for this was because Blue Diamond was on Earth, and because Garnet was too afraid to tell Steven, it led to Greg getting kidnapped, and Garnet blamed a lot of it on herself. And before we knew it was Blue Diamond, Garnet was making a lot of sense. She said that she was scared and that she can't get near her. But after the revelation that it was Blue Diamond on Earth, it makes a lot of sense why. Blue Diamond detested Garnet's existence. She wanted Ruby shattered for Garnet even merely existing by complete accident. Now Garnet exists 100% of the time on purpose. Yet they still can't face their diamond. But this goes beyond Ruby and Sapphire. This has everything to do with Garnet, because Garnet isn't just Ruby and Sapphire. Garnet is her own person, and she can't be held back by fear of Blue Diamond forever. Her fear paralyzed her so much to the point where Greg got kidnapped because she simply didn't tell Steven, Blue Diamond's there, if you go, bad things will happen. But the game is rapidly changing. With Blue Diamond coming to Earth, she's now on Garnet's territory. Her and Yellow Diamond are once again serving a direct threat to everything the Crystal Gems fight for, and I don't see Garnet just sitting back and letting the Diamonds do that. I see a lot of different scenarios on how this arc could play out, and I'm gonna try to make a video on every single scenario that I can think of. But this one is something I definitely hope happens for Garnet's development, so her own character arc can progress. A lot of people feel like Garnet doesn't really have that much of a character arc, because by merely existing, that is her character arc. That her character arc kind of ended with Jailbreak. But I strongly disagree. In the episode Keeping It Together, we already saw that Garnet has immense guilt towards Force Gem fusions, towards the cluster, because these were crystal gems shattered and forced to fuse together. She feels guilt for letting them down, for letting them be shattered, because while they were forced to fuse together, she wasn't forced to fuse together. She chose to be fused together. By Ruby and Sapphire fusing into Garnet, Blue Diamond and Homeworld used her existence as direct influence on the cluster. After all, she did say this is what Homeworld thinks of fusion, an abomination. Obviously this meant cross-gem fusion, as we see Rubies fusing all the time, but some people also think that Homeworld doesn't actually detest fusion, but Blue Diamond doesn't think a Ruby is worth fusing with anybody on her court. But honestly, I feel like it's a mix of both. Blue Diamond comes off as very pretentious, but at the same time, that's to be expected because she's a queen and a ruler. They both kind of go hand in hand. But forget me saying the obvious. I feel like the Crewniverse wouldn't introduce the fact that Garnet's still afraid of Blue Diamond if they weren't going to follow up on that. Which is why I believe it's only logical to conclude that Blue Diamond and Garnet will have some kind of confrontation in the future. Now, when I say Garnet versus Blue Diamond, I don't mean in terms of physical fights, I mean in terms of ideologies. Permafusions existing versus them not existing. The consistent battle of love versus logic that's been presented in the show. Now, should things actually get physical, obviously Garnet would form into Alexandrite with Amethyst and Pearl, assuming they don't get split up, but would Alexandrite even be enough? Garnet saw a future where Blue Diamond did find them, and it ended very, very badly. I'm assuming in that timeline, they didn't form Alexandrite and it wasn't enough. Perhaps the diamonds coming to Earth and resulting in a physical confrontation will result in the Temple Fusion finally emerging. That Steven fuses with all the gems at once in order to protect Beach City. I know some of you are probably thinking, when they have Steven fuse with all the other gems before they actually have one big fusion, Alexandrite came before Sardonyx, and I feel like the sense of urgency would be high enough to warrant that fusion coming out. Garnet and Blue Diamond's confrontation would be important for Garnet, because again, not only would she come to terms with existing and her being proud to exist, standing up against the first one to ever oppose her, but we could also get some focus on her as a leader, something that has been very underplayed in the series. We never see what Garnet's going through. The stress of taking up Rose's mantle as leader of the Crystal Gems. Yes, Steven is in training to become the new leader, but he's not there yet. He won't be there yet for a very, very long time. Let's address the trials and tribulations of being the leader. Let's get some perspective on how Garnet's feeling. Maybe some perspective on how she's feeling about Yellow Diamond telling Blue Diamond there's still time to come to Earth. I feel as if there's a lot of potential for Garnet to finally have her own arc, but this isn't potential they're not following through. And I really hope they don't sit on that any longer, because it needs to happen, it needs to be done. I want Blue Diamond to recognize Garnet as the permafusion that got away all those years ago. Hell, let's say Garnet diffuses into Ruby and Sapphire. Have Blue Diamond realize that's the same Ruby and Sapphire that told her that she foresaw seeking more humans for the zoo. I want to see the look on Blue Diamond's face when she realizes she's kind of been swindled. Ruby and Sapphire both reformed since the events of The Answer, so of course Blue Diamond didn't recognize them, and that will be all. However, if she meets Garnet on Earth, and then somehow they diffuse into Ruby and Sapphire again, she could quickly put 2 and 2 together. And it may just be me, but I could only imagine the rage Blue Diamond would have from that. I think it would serve as an amazing moment to show that even though Blue Diamond is very depressed over Pink Diamond's loss still, she's not someone to be reckoned with. However, these are just my thoughts and I want to hear yours, so please in the comments down below, let me know what you think of this theory / speculation. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, it really helps us out. Follow us on social media, support us on Patreon, snag a t-shirt, links to everything in the description down below. Ostrich Vox, signing out. This video has been powered by Patreon. If you want to give us some more support, head to patreon.com/roundtablevids, become a patron, and get some awesome perks. Thanks for watching another video on the Roundtable. If you want to get more involved with our community and watch videos from Let's Talk with Tom, Voxbox, and more, click the video right here. Or if you want to get some more of the animation goodness, watch some Crystal Clear or Meaning Monday, click the video right here. And please, don't forget to subscribe.